Hi, my name is Sammy, and I talk a lot about human design on my channel, but today I wanted to talk about theta healing. As a theta practitioner, I've done a lot of research, of course, as a 5-1, of like how people really describe theta, and I don't feel like there's a lot out there that really helps people understand what to expect when they come into a session. And I feel like if I was booking with me, whether that's online or locally in St. Louis, I would want to know what to expect, what you can get out of it, and kind of the advantages of what theta healing can do for you. So let's start with the first thing. What can you expect when you are working with someone who does theta healing? And I'm going to use myself, of course, as an example. First and foremost, everything is confidential. Anything said in that room will never leave that room. I take that very seriously, which is why in this video I'm going to use examples of how theta healing has healed me and not obviously one of my clients. Honestly, the reason I was really drawn to theta and knew that it was something that I had to do, it was just this instinct within me of this is something I need to do to help heal the world with my heart, and it felt like this loving, beautiful thing that I was given was from my own theta session that I was given. And I don't mean to make it sound like this profound thing. For me, it really was, but truthfully, theta healing can be, in a sense, this form of therapy that really digs deep into this bottom belief of these things that are holding you back. So not to get ahead of myself, I will go back to my first statement, which is when you're coming in to see me, it's important that you feel safe, that you feel comfortable, that you know that there's going to be no judgment, and that I hold space of unconditional love. The beautiful thing about theta is that you go up to this thing called the seventh plane, and the seventh plane is the creator of all that is. So the only, I guess, requirement is just that you believe in something higher than yourself. When I say the word God, I mean God in a very personal way. I don't mean that in a religious way. I mean that in the relationship I have built with the God that is within me, that I believe lives within all of us, the God that is the oneness, the God that is in everything, in every atom, every molecule, every, part of this expansion of this universe. Now, you don't have to believe that. You can believe in something like your higher self. You can say the universe. I believe in the universe. I believe in my angels or my guides, or I believe in source or creator. Whatever word that you feel comfortable with, the one thing I want you to always remember is to speak up and to let me know, or to let the person that you're doing theta with know this is the word that you feel most comfortable with, because it's going to help resonate with it, like you. If you don't particularly enjoy the word God, it's going to be harder for you to hear like can God pull this belief rather than can creator pull this belief, right? So I usually will say God or creator of all that is during this video. But just know that whatever it is for you is the same thing as what I am saying. It's universal, and it's important though that you are able to use the word that you feel most comfortable with. The third thing that I want to talk about is the fact that I was just mentioning how when we're in the seventh plane, the creator of all that is, it is the oneness. It is part of everything. And so when we are going up there through this meditation, I am able to really pull you up there with me. So there is no need to have fear or worry that like you're not going to get there or you're not going to be able to experience it, because again, I am just witnessing this for you. I'm witnessing you being pulled up there, and I'm there to be the facilitator essentially, and to be the witness to your own healing. It's a place of a non-judgmental environment, to the point where judgment is impossible on the seventh plane. It has made me feel like it's impossible to judge in my own life now because of this gift that I've been given through Theta. I just feel this presence of compassion and love and complete and utter understanding and acceptance, and this desire that creator or source has to pull any beliefs that the creator feels like is blocking you from whatever it is that you are wanting to heal. It could also be something that you're wanting to get over, whether it's a fear, a resentment, a rejection, a forgiveness. Those are probably the main things that I deal with. And in this video, I just want to go over the main things. So again, that is fear, resentment, rejection, and of course, now I forgot. Fear, resentment, rejection, and forgiveness. Sorry, I had a little blank moment there in my mind. So, okay, so let's talk about a couple examples that I will give you through those that I've personally experienced. So I'm being the client here, and I went through this through my training. So I think one of the fears that I worked on was the fears of having my gifts come to be in fruition. Like, I was afraid of starting to see things, psychically, or I was afraid of really my own power. I knew I had this block somewhere in my ability to grow in my gifts. I wanted to, but there was so much fear around it. And so often we will test. Now, sometimes I don't test because creator will tell me where it's coming from. But if I need to test, or if it makes the client feel more comfortable, then we'll do something called energy testing, which is where I'll have you stand up, and I'll have you go forward for your yes and go backwards for your no, and it's very natural, and everyone who does it is always like, oh my goodness, that I really didn't move, it's so weird, my body just wanted to move forward or backwards. And so I want this to be something that really, really relieves you of this feeling of fear or guilt or shame for a lot of the things that you might feel like you're holding on to. I felt a lot of shame for the fear that I had of having these gifts, of being someone who is intuitive, of being a healer. Well, it turns out that a lot of this was from an ancestral line. So we test you on your genetic level. So your genetic level, your ancestral level, your soul level, and then your history level. And of course, there's always group consciousness as well. So for me, I had to go, when I was in this feeling of complete and utter fear, because at that point it had turned, the fear had turned to something else, of complete fear from this ancestor. So this ancestor, I felt absolute fear within my own body, but I was able to be in this image of this person being beaten down, being so broken by their faith. And so they believed truly that the only way that they could get close to God or creator was through pain. So my belief then, through my ancestral line, was that I had to go through pain in order to feel close to creator or God. And so because of that, I was afraid and hid my gifts because of the fear of being left alone, of being shamed, of losing everybody I loved. And these were multiple ancestors that I kind of had to deal with at different times. But essentially, in my past ancestral line, a lot of pain had been brought up about their beliefs and the things that they were able to do. And so it made me shy away from it, and it made me have this unconscious fear that I didn't know where it was coming from. And so essentially what's happening is they are digging so deep, and they are releasing this ancestral line. And so when when it came down to like this bottom belief, which we're always searching for the bottom belief, right? So once Creator tells the practitioner, this is the bottom belief, because you always want to check in with Creator and make sure that that's right, then you ask permission to pull anything surrounding that, pull anything on all levels, just more details on that, which doesn't really matter. And the beautiful thing is that you literally, as the practitioner, you're witnessing this stuff being pulled from this person, and as the person, like me, when I was experiencing this, complete and utter tears just fell from my face, because I didn't even know that was what I was holding on to. And the fact that I was able to just see all these ancestors go to God's or Creator's light was a gift I could never describe to anybody, because it was something I was able to give them, and it was something that I was able to then bring forth into the world for them. And I just think that's really beautiful, because when you witness those types of things and you feel how deeply connected you are to your ancestors, you start to realize how deeply connected you are to everyone. So that brings me to my second one, which is forgiveness. So I will use my father as an example. We were never close. I won't give out like a bunch of details or anything, but essentially I was in like the training, and I was told by my teacher, this is something you have to work out with Creator by yourself, because it's like they had been pushing and something was not healing. So when you do a forgiveness healing, it's like you're able to see this person with Creator in the seventh plane, and I'm, as like the practitioner, you're witnessing what's happening, and you need to know whether they're leaving, whether they're walking away, whether they're angry. You need to know if this forgiveness has been done on your part. And sometimes it hasn't been done on their part, but it no longer affects you. And sometimes, if you're lucky, you get to meet their higher self, which is what I got to do eventually when I went to Creator later that night. And I got to ask him, why did I learn this lesson? What was the point of this? And I just completely surrendered to this moment where I no longer saw my father, but I saw his higher self smile at me and said, you get it now, don't you? And it was the whole reason why my father and I have never been close is so that I could understand that unconditional love lives in a world that seems so full of duality, that unconditional love is still boundless. That even though I might not have felt loved the way that I wanted to, his higher self would always have that unconditional love for me. That every human being always has unconditional love for you. And that unconditional love, no matter where you feel pain from somebody is just a reminder that love is boundless, and that this universe, as much as there is so much duality in it, there is no duality in love. And that was what he taught me. He taught me unconditional love still lives in a world full of duality. And I'm sorry I'm getting so emotional, but to go into a session like that and not really understand why, you get your parents or you get these people in your life, and to realize that it's for such a higher purpose and for such a beautiful reason that you never really could have even begun to imagine yourself, is why Theta is so absolutely beautiful. The other thing that people come in a lot for is feeling rejected. So, I felt rejected a lot in my life by myself, right? I had an eating disorder, so a lot of that rejection that I had put upon myself was me hiding away who I was, not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy. So when the practitioner was able to really, really dig deep on why that was, it was me feeling like I would fail my mission in life, that I would have to do this all over again, that I wouldn't be accepted by God, that I would be unworthy, that I would be alone, that I would be completely in darkness. And a lot of the times the bottom beliefs are really dark. There are these feelings of loneliness, of guilt, of shame, of hell, of these absolute fears that the Creator does not have for us and never will have. And God, when you're able to pull those and then have, with permission, be downloaded with these feelings of what unconditional love truly means, that you will never fail your purpose, that you are perfect as you are, that your essence is so divinely beautiful, that you are worthy in this moment, that you are everything, that you are part of everything. Here, buddy. That you are boundless. That's when you realize that all of these things, all of these beliefs, all of these things that we've been conditioned about ourselves come up. And yes, sometimes, actually most of the time, people cry or they have deep changes. I've seen people just absolutely flourish from these sessions. I have absolutely flourished from Theta. Theta has changed my life in ways that I can't even begin to describe. It's allowed me to realize how much power we all really have inside of us. And that this feeling of being left alone, of being unworthy, of guilt, of shame, of fear, of pain, of loneliness. There are all these beliefs. And many times, like I said, they don't come from you. They come from an ancestor or genetics or from past lives or from your soul. And when we're able to go to Creator and heal those and to put new beliefs in there for you to be empowered, I mean, to be able to say that I do that for a living is pretty much the coolest job ever. The last thing I just want to say is everything is within your own permission. Callie, come here. Sorry. That nothing is ever downloaded unless Creator tells me to do it. I'm, again, just the witness, so I just listen and intuitively know what needs to go in. I ask your permission to pull anything. I ask your permission to download anything. You're always welcome to say no if it does not feel right for you. I just want people to know that if they ever book with me, that this can be a beautiful, incredible experience. It can open your eyes to how full of love you are. How full of love you are. You guys are all so magnificent, each and every one of you. I feel called right now to just say that you are all just you are all so precious and loved and cherished. That your worth could never be measured. Your worth could never be changed. You are always forgiven. You are never separate. You are never alone. And I know that feeling. I know that feeling of feeling so alone. But you aren't alone. You're never alone. And I want Theta to be something, if you feel called to help you realize just how powerful you are, just how magnificent you are, just how capable you are, to have everything you've ever wanted, and so much more. So much more joy, so much more love, so much more beauty than you ever thought was possible. So I hope that kind of sums up Theta. It's like therapy, but it really pulls it to the surface and helps you really know what was going on. And the beautiful part is it's already gone, it's already pulled, and the new beliefs already started to manifest immediately. So if you'd like to make, or if you would like me to make more videos on manifestation and Theta, or anything else on Theta, or any questions you guys have, please let me know. Thank you for listening, and I hope to maybe be booking with some of you guys soon. So again, I do work locally in St. Louis, and I also do online. So thanks, guys.